She walked through the administrative corridor with routine facility inspection forms and a standard government-issued clipboard, her civilian contractor badge and casual inspection pattern making her appear like countless other quality assurance personnel conducting routine facility assessments at the Pentagon's classified research wing. The afternoon coordination session brought typical bureaucratic activity as defense contractors and military personnel reviewed compliance reports and safety protocols that maintained operational standards for the nation's most sensitive research programs and classified technology development initiatives. But when the facility's automated security system suddenly detected an unauthorized breach in Sublevel 7 and triggered the highest-level containment protocols, emergency klaxons shattered the administrative calm, while blast doors sealed every corridor and classified computer terminals automatically activated their most restricted access displays. Then an electronic voice announced through the facility-wide communication system with mechanical precision that made every person within hearing. Distance freeze in recognition. Security breach detected. Initiating Omega protocols. Primary authorization required. Clearance Delta Omega 117 acknowledged. Dr. Alexandra Stone. Proceed to Emergency Command Authority. The clipboard clattered to the floor as 200 personnel suddenly understood they were standing next to someone whose security clearance exceeded every other person in the building combined. Dr. Sarah Mitchell adjusted her contractor identification while processing the technological impossibility of having her highest-level clearance code broadcast throughout a facility where her current assignment involved routine quality assurance rather than the classified research coordination that her authorization level suggested. The security system announcement represented more than administrative error. It revealed clearance authority that connected her current contractor position with classified programs that exceeded normal Pentagon authorization and suggested involvement in projects that operated beyond congressional oversight and standard Defense Department coordination. She wasn't supposed to possess Omega-level clearance, wasn't authorized for emergency command authority, wasn't prepared for the reality that her carefully maintained contractor cover was being shattered by security systems that somehow retained classified authorization levels from programs that officially never existed. From which classified facility around the world are you following this security breach story today? If you appreciate narratives that explore highest-level clearances and the buried authority within classified government programs, consider subscribing for more content that reveals the shadow administrators who possess ultimate authorization for our nation's most dangerous secrets. The Pentagon's classified research wing occupied 73,000 square feet of heavily secured underground territory beneath the main Pentagon complex, its research facilities and security infrastructure representing the most restricted access center supporting experimental technology development and classified programs that exceeded normal military authorization and congressional oversight. The installation served as the primary coordination center for Beyond Black projects, combining theoretical research development, experimental technology coordination, and classified program management that maintained American technological superiority while protecting operational security for projects that transcended standard government classification systems. Located beneath multiple levels of conventional Pentagon operations, the research wing had been constructed with comprehensive security capabilities and experimental infrastructure designed to maintain classified research coordination even under sophisticated foreign intelligence penetration attempts and unauthorized access scenarios that demanded ultimate security protocols and emergency containment procedures. Advanced security systems processed authorization data from hundreds of classified sources simultaneously, creating comprehensive access control models that protected experimental research while enabling appropriate coordination for personnel with ultimate clearance authority and emergency command protocols. The facility security architecture incorporated decades of advancement in classified research protection and ultimate authorization systems, including quantum encrypted security networks, automated containment systems, and emergency command protocols that could maintain detailed facility control while protecting sensitive information regarding research participants and experimental program coordination. Security personnel possessed multiple authorization levels that preserved experimental security while enabling appropriate facility decisions based on clearance requirements and classified research protocols. Dr. Sarah Mitchell approached the administrative inspection area carrying standard quality assurance materials and facility assessment documentation, her ultimate clearance authorization having been placed in inactive status following her transition from classified research coordination to civilian contractor quality assurance. Though her current inspection duties seemed inconsistent with the experimental research expertise that informed her facility assessment capabilities and classified program knowledge. The transition process from classified research had required comprehensive clearance modification that suspended active authorization while maintaining emergency command capability that exceeded standard contractor access and encompassed ultimate facility control authority. At 37 years old, she possessed specialized authorization from the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency's Ultimate Projects Coordination Division, having completed classified research in theoretical technology development, experimental program coordination, and beyond black project management before her transition to civilian contractor status following a program restructuring that had suspended active research teams while maintaining emergency authorization for personnel with ultimate clearance and facility command authority. Her contractor record listed standard quality assurance coordination and routine facility assessment, though these cover designations concealed ultimate authorization and experimental research experience that had been suspended following her transition from classified research programs. Her research background included coordination at experimental facilities whose classification exceeded congressional authorization levels, where defense researchers and theoretical scientists developed technologies that pushed the boundaries of current scientific understanding and experimental applications that transcended normal government oversight. The programs she had coordinated involved beyond black technology development, ultimate experimental coordination, and classified research management that prepared personnel for technological scenarios that conventional government authorization could not address safely or effectively within standard oversight parameters. The decision to accept civilian contractor status rather than continued classified research coordination had been influenced by program suspension and personal decisions that enabled her to maintain connection with classified facilities while managing ultimate clearance that had been enhanced through experimental authorization procedures. Her presence at classified installations as civilian contractor provided facility assessment, while her ultimate authorization remained suspended and officially inactive though accessible for emergency command scenarios. General Patricia Hayes supervised the Pentagon research coordination with authority gained through 34 years of military service and extensive experience in classified research and experimental program management. Her expertise encompassing complex research coordination and ultimate technology applications that supported America's most sensitive experimental programs and beyond black research across multiple classified projects and experimental applications. Her background included research assignments throughout classified program command and liaison duties with experimental research organizations that developed ultimate technology capabilities and research coordination systems. Her Distinguished Service Medal and multiple research coordination ribbons reflected exceptional performance in both experimental leadership and research coordination that advanced American experimental capabilities and classified research effectiveness. The general's military career had evolved from conventional research coordination to ultimate experimental management, including beyond black assignments with experimental research organizations and ultimate technology development agencies that created comprehensive experimental systems and classified research protocols. Her transition from conventional research to ultimate experimental coordination had been driven by recognition that future national security required experimental sophistication and ultimate research coordination that exceeded traditional military boundaries and required interdisciplinary expertise in experimental research and beyond black program management. Around the classified research coordination table sat representatives from Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, ultimate experimental contractors, beyond black research organizations, and various classified development agencies, each contributing specialized expertise to experimental research and ultimate technology development procedures that advanced national capabilities while maintaining experimental security for classified research and beyond black experimental programs. The assembled group represented decades of collective experience in experimental research, ultimate technology coordination, and beyond black program management that maintained experimental effectiveness through comprehensive research coordination and ultimate experimental optimization. Colonel Jennifer Walsh, the ultimate research coordinator responsible for experimental program management and beyond black research oversight, possessed 24 years of experience in classified experimental programs and held ultimate authorization credentials that provided comprehensive oversight of beyond black research and experimental development programs. Her background included specialized training in experimental research coordination, ultimate technology analysis, and beyond black program procedures that enabled coordination of ultimate experimental programs while maintaining appropriate research security and experimental effectiveness protocols. Colonel Walsh's expertise bridged the gap between theoretical experimental research and practical ultimate technology applications, translating beyond black experimental theory into functional research systems that supported national security while maintaining readiness for experimental applications that exceeded current authorization and oversight limitations. Her role required constant evaluation of experimental effectiveness, ultimate research assessments, and beyond black coordination to ensure adequate experimental development for evolving national requirements and emerging ultimate technology applications. The experimental research team under Walsh's coordination represented carefully selected specialists recruited from leading experimental institutions and ultimate technology development organizations, each bringing unique expertise to the complex challenge of developing beyond black capabilities while maintaining experimental standards that preserved research integrity and ultimate experimental reliability. Their work remained classified beyond normal oversight, but their experimental decisions directly influenced national security and ultimate technology coordination that protected experimental capabilities and beyond black research programs. Major Robert Patterson, the Beyond Black Operations Officer responsible for ultimate protocols and experimental research coordination, possessed extensive experience in ultimate experimental research and specialized beyond black development that enabled coordination of comprehensive experimental programs through sophisticated research networks and ultimate technology procedures. His understanding of experimental capabilities encompassed both conventional research systems and ultimate approaches that pushed the boundaries of current experimental research and provided capabilities that exceeded standard government experimental programs. The Beyond Black Operations Commander's background included specialized training in ultimate experimental coordination, beyond black research management, and experimental technology methodologies that enabled identification of experimental potential and ultimate capabilities that conventional research systems might overlook or fail to develop within experimental parameters. His responsibility for ultimate experimental operations required constant research advancement and strategic thinking that anticipated national requirements while maintaining experimental effectiveness for emerging beyond black challenges and ultimate technology coordination. Recent security assessments indicate possible gaps in our ultimate clearance monitoring protocols that might affect experimental security and research coordination for personnel with beyond black authorization backgrounds, Colonel Walsh reported, her voice carrying experimental precision that characterized professional ultimate research evaluation. Research sources suggest personnel with suspended ultimate authorization who retain emergency command capability that exceeds current security parameters, though specific experimental details remain classified beyond our coordination level. Her assessment reflected constant evolution of ultimate security that characterized contemporary experimental research, where personnel with suspended authorization often retained emergency capabilities that might compromise experimental security, while beyond black programs required ultimate oversight that challenged existing security protocols and experimental coordination procedures. The evaluation indicated security gaps that required enhanced monitoring measures and updated protocols to maintain experimental effectiveness and ultimate security. The current experimental assessment represented months of ultimate analysis that had identified patterns suggesting inadequate monitoring of personnel with suspended authorization and experimental activities that exceeded standard security assumptions. Ultimate experimental intelligence sources had reported monitoring gaps and beyond black limitations that indicated preparation for experimental responses that required enhanced security coordination and specialized ultimate oversight. Colonel, what specific capabilities do our current monitoring systems provide for identifying personnel with suspended ultimate authorization and ensuring appropriate security coordination and experimental oversight? General Hayes inquired, her question reflecting command responsibility for understanding experimental limitations and ensuring adequate coordination for classified research and ultimate security. The question addressed core challenges facing experimental planners in contemporary ultimate research, where beyond black authorization created security challenges that might compromise experimental effectiveness, while ultimate programs required appropriate oversight and experimental coordination. The assessment of current capabilities versus experimental requirements was critical for determining security adequacy and ultimate planning requirements. Ma'am, we've enhanced our ultimate coordination systems and implemented advanced monitoring protocols designed to identify personnel with suspended beyond black authorization and experimental capability that might not appear in standard security databases, Major Patterson explained. His report reflecting systematic approach to experimental coordination optimization that balanced monitoring capabilities with operational limitations of current ultimate systems and experimental coordination programs. However, some authorization restrictions could prevent identification and proper oversight of ultimate experimental manifestations, requiring security review and strategic planning that might take time to implement effectively. His analysis highlighted fundamental challenges facing modern ultimate coordination, where authorization restrictions created barriers to appropriate security oversight, while experimental research demanded coordination that challenged existing ultimate structures. The balance between current security protocols and experimental optimization required continuous review and strategic planning that anticipated coordination developments before they materialized into actual ultimate vulnerabilities or security failures. Mitchell quietly moved through the administrative inspection areas while maintaining her civilian contractor cover assignment, her movements deliberately routine and assessment-oriented to avoid triggering attention that might activate her ultimate authorization or reveal her experimental research background to personnel who lacked appropriate security clearances for her actual research history and beyond black experience. Her experimental training enabled recognition of ultimate discussions and research assessments that contractor personnel might interpret incorrectly or fail to understand entirely. Her experience in classified experimental research provided unique perspective on ultimate requirements and experimental coordination that informed her understanding of classified research operations and beyond black planning. Though her suspended ultimate authorization remained inactive and unknown to research personnel who viewed her as dedicated civilian contractor with exceptional attention to facility assessment and quality coordination. The inspection activities that Mitchell conducted served multiple purposes beyond routine quality assurance, allowing her to observe experimental operations while managing ultimate capabilities that had been suspended through authorization modification but required careful assessment to ensure experimental security. Her specialized knowledge enabled recognition of experimental research vulnerabilities that conventional inspection procedures might overlook, though she carefully avoided any demonstration of ultimate capabilities that could compromise her contractor cover. The administrative facilities represented months of construction and planning designed to provide optimal research coordination and quality assurance, while supporting daily operations that maintained experimental readiness and research effectiveness. Standard inspection equipment, comprehensive quality capabilities, and routine administrative infrastructure created operational advantages that sustained experimental activities even under challenging security conditions and research pressures. The facility specifications that guided inspection operations incorporated lessons learned from previous experimental installations and theoretical advances in quality assurance developed by assessment specialists and facility coordination experts. Each administrative component had been carefully designed to provide research oversight and quality flexibility that eliminated assessment gaps while maintaining efficiency for experimental operations and classified research requirements. Dr. Mitchell, Continue inspection activities while research personnel complete experimental coordination and facility assessment requirements. Major Patterson observed, his guidance reflecting standard inspection protocols while acknowledging civilian contractor status that Mitchell maintained through her quality documentation and facility authorization. His instructions contained routine inspection recognition and administrative coordination requirements that preserved experimental security regarding ultimate research operations while maintaining appropriate inspection support for Beyond Black experimental programs and research coordination activities that required quality assessment and facility management. Mitchell positioned herself near the research coordination areas while maintaining inspection duties that provided cover for observing experimental operations and ultimate coordination that might indicate research gaps or experimental limitations. Her suspended ultimate background enabled recognition of experimental capabilities and research parameters that contractor personnel might interpret incorrectly or fail to evaluate properly. The inspection activities that Mitchell conducted automatically incorporated advanced experimental analysis techniques learned during ultimate research that emphasized experimental innovation and coordination thinking beyond conventional quality assurance. Her ability to evaluate experimental operations enabled identification of potential coordination improvements and ultimate vulnerabilities that purely inspection thinking might miss entirely, though she carefully avoided demonstrating any capabilities that could reveal her experimental background. The ultimate authorization activation incident occurred approximately 40 minutes into facility inspection, the distinctive security breach and emergency protocols triggering immediate recognition that connected her civilian contractor assignment with ultimate experimental research that had developed authorization exceeding current facility security and research coordination requirements. The activation characteristics indicated legitimate experimental emergency rather than routine quality assessment, suggesting ultimate authorization that demanded immediate attention and specialized experimental security response. Her recognition of the ultimate emergency reflected experimental participation and authorization development that connected her to programs that officially operated under classification beyond normal security coordination, research where her ultimate capabilities had been developed while maintaining suspended status that protected experimental research and ultimate security. The authorization activation indicated experimental advancement that suggested either security compromise or ultimate circumstances that justified revealing her experimental background and Beyond Black research expertise. The ultimate emergency indicated genuine experimental crisis rather than routine quality assurance or standard facility procedures, though the implications of revealing her ultimate capabilities created experimental complexity that demanded careful evaluation and appropriate security response procedures. The authenticity of the emergency required ultimate verification, while experimental security protocols demanded immediate activation of Beyond Black authorization and experimental research coordination. Instead of hesitating during the ultimate activation, Mitchell immediately accessed her experimental authorization while recognizing the emergency protocols that had activated her Beyond Black clearance through facility systems that required ultimate coordination. Her experimental research training included extensive instruction in emergency command and ultimate authorization procedures designed to provide immediate experimental response while maintaining research coordination and ultimate effectiveness. The activation process required immediate ultimate response that utilized experimental knowledge and Beyond Black training to provide comprehensive facility control that enhanced research protection through ultimate authorization coordination. Her specialized background provided capabilities necessary for proper experimental coordination while maintaining ultimate effectiveness that protected experimental research through enhanced security operations and Beyond Black expertise. The ultimate characteristics embedded within the emergency activation matched Beyond Black protocols that Mitchell recognized from her experimental research, indicating legitimate ultimate authorization using proper experimental procedures rather than routine quality assurance or standard facility operations. The proper execution of emergency commands suggested experimental advancement that required immediate ultimate coordination and indicated Beyond Black capabilities that provided essential facility protection and experimental effectiveness. Lieutenant Colonel Sarah Davis, the facility security coordinator responsible for monitoring emergency systems and coordinating ultimate security oversight, immediately recognized Mitchell's beyond black authorization through security observation designed to coordinate appropriate ultimate response procedures. General Hayes, we have ultimate authorization activation indicating beyond black emergency command capability that requires immediate experimental coordination and appropriate ultimate security protocols. Her observation reflected ultimate monitoring capabilities that tracked experimental activities and identified emergency authorization requirements through immediate recognition of beyond black capabilities and ultimate coordination activities. The monitoring systems represented experimental security protocols designed to provide immediate identification of ultimate authorization and coordinate appropriate responses that enhanced experimental effectiveness while maintaining ultimate coordination and research success. The ultimate intelligence demonstrated through Davis's observation provided critical recognition of beyond black capabilities and experimental coordination that informed ultimate planning and research procedures. The experimental analysis of ultimate capabilities enabled immediate coordination of specialized resources while maintaining experimental protocols that enhanced research operations through appropriate ultimate recognition and beyond black coordination. Lieutenant Colonel Davis, Dr. Mitchell is authorized for ultimate experimental command and beyond black facility coordination during emergency protocols. Mitchell replied professionally, her voice transitioning from contractor assessment to ultimate authority while demonstrating experimental capability that reflected beyond black authorization and ultimate research expertise. Emergency command protocols activated, experimental security established, ultimate coordination operational for facility protection and research security as required. Her response provided ultimate context that enabled experimental coordination while demonstrating beyond black capability that enhanced facility protection through specialized authorization and experimental training. The distinction between contractor assessment and ultimate command was seamless through beyond black training that enabled immediate experimental coordination and ultimate authorization. Colonel Walsh monitored the ultimate activation with experimental recognition, her research background enabling appreciation of beyond black capability that enhanced experimental effectiveness through specialized authorization and ultimate coordination. Outstanding experimental utilization of ultimate authorization, demonstrating effective integration of contractor assessment with beyond black expertise that enhances facility protection and experimental security. Her acknowledgement reflected institutional recognition of Mitchell's ultimate training while recognizing beyond black capability that enhanced experimental effectiveness through specialized authorization coordination. The depth of ultimate capability indicated experimental training that honored beyond black specialization and suggested experimental optimization that enhanced research effectiveness and ultimate coordination. The experimental coordination that Mitchell provided represented institutional acknowledgement of ultimate training and beyond black capabilities that enhanced experimental effectiveness through specialized authorization. Her ultimate capability demonstrated training that utilized both quality assessment knowledge and experimental expertise to provide integrated ultimate support that enhanced facility protection and research success. The ultimate coordination that Mitchell established became reference point for beyond black utilization and experimental effectiveness, illustrating importance of maintaining specialized capability that integrated assessment expertise with ultimate training. The coordination enhanced experimental research through beyond black capability while maintaining ultimate effectiveness and authorization coordination that strengthened research success. The beyond black utilization protocols that Mitchell demonstrated reflected ultimate training in integrated specialization and experimental coordination through specialized capability that enhanced ultimate effectiveness. The coordination honored specialized training while maintaining beyond black capability that provided facility protection and ultimate effectiveness regardless of research requirements or experimental intensity. Her experimental operations included ultimate facility command, beyond black coordination under emergency conditions, and authorization management that enabled successful research protection under extraordinarily challenging experimental conditions. Each capability demonstrated value of ultimate training applied to experimental situations that protected research operations and enhanced ultimate effectiveness, while maintaining authorization coordination and facility protection. The ultimate recognition that Mitchell received reflected experimental research tradition in utilizing beyond black capabilities and specialized authorization through appropriate coordination and experimental effectiveness that honored training regardless of assignment status or specialization parameters. 6 months after the ultimate activation incident, Dr. Mitchell received restoration and assignment as Senior Experimental Coordinator, providing specialized beyond black assessment for research operations and ultimate coordination development. Her assignment reflected institutional recognition that exceptional ultimate capability and experimental expertise required appropriate utilization while honoring specialized training through meaningful contribution and experimental advancement. Her progression from contractor inspection to ultimate coordination demonstrated experimental research capacity for recognizing and utilizing exceptional beyond black expertise when experimental situations revealed specialized capability and ultimate requirements demanded comprehensive authorization coordination and experimental expertise. The advancement reflected institutional learning about maintaining ultimate recognition and experimental utilization regardless of assignment parameters and specialization requirements. Today, Mitchell leads the Ultimate Research Coordination Division, overseeing beyond black assessment and experimental integration that supports research installations throughout the experimental command structure. Her team continues to advance ultimate capabilities and experimental methodologies that protect research effectiveness while maintaining specialized training and authorization coordination. Her ultimate position represents utilization of specialized beyond black training that evolved from contractor assessment to experimental expertise supporting critical research operations and ultimate coordination programs. The trajectory demonstrated how exceptional ultimate capability and experimental knowledge could enhance institutional capabilities for advanced research coordination and experimental effectiveness. The organization she leads has become model for integrating beyond black expertise with experimental requirements, attracting specialized ultimate talent and authorization coordination expertise. Her success has inspired similar programs that seek to utilize ultimate capability while enhancing experimental effectiveness and beyond black coordination. The woman they had assumed was just carrying a clipboard had become valuable ultimate coordination asset for advanced experimental programs, proving that exceptional beyond black training often exists within personnel whose ultimate backgrounds enhance both assessment and experimental capabilities. Sometimes the most exceptional experimental effectiveness comes from individuals whose ultimate knowledge bridges quality specialization with beyond black expertise, and institutional effectiveness benefits from recognizing ultimate capability regardless of current assignment or specialization presentation. Her story continues to inspire ultimate specialists and experimental personnel who understand that specialized training creates unique capabilities for enhancing research operations, demonstrating that beyond black expertise will find purpose when given appropriate opportunities to contribute to meaningful experimental missions and ultimate coordination operations that honor specialized training and experimental capability. The experimental effectiveness that Mitchell demonstrated became testament to ultimate training that transcended conventional specialization and proved that beyond black versatility creates force multipliers who enhance research protection while maintaining essential assessment capabilities. Her seamless transition from quality contractor to ultimate command proved that the most effective experimental coordinators are those who understand that every role in classified research contributes to experimental success, and true ultimate excellence emerges when specialists can adapt their expertise to meet any challenge the research demands.